So we bought a Jeep Cherokee. Okay, so here's the story. So for shits and giggles, we decided to buy a Jeep Cherokee 3.7 V6 and have a bit of fun in it. So great for the dogs. That's
Coops.
That's Cooper.
Hey Coops.
And Chester's
Chester's over there.
buggered off. So, like I said, for shits and giggles and a bit of fun, have a bit of father and son time as well. We decided to buy this and hopefully pimp it out as an off-roader as cheaply as possible. Yeah, so that's it. So I'm about to do an oil change on it. Well, not an oil change, a full service, but this video is just going to be the oil change. So I got all the kit that I need from Europarts, and hopefully this is going to go to plan. I've done many an oil change in my time. Hopefully on a 4x4 it's going to be easier because it's higher up, so I don't need any ramps or anything. So I've got myself oil filter, man oil filter. I got myself something to catch all the oil in and dispose of it. I don't know where we're going to dispose of that. Where are we going to dispose of that?
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll dispose of that somewhere. I bought myself a sump plug, just changed that. Don't know if that's damaged, and it's got the new washer on as well, so it's worth changing that every time. And I've got myself an oil filter wrench. Hopefully, well, I don't think I'm going to need it, but I bought it just in case anyway. Apparently the oil filter on these is a bit of a shit to get at, so oh, and I bought myself some triple QX 5030 oil, which apparently is the one for this vehicle. So it's not your Castrol Magnatec or anything like that. I don't think we need to put anything super duper in it. It's not a daily driver, it's just going to be for off-roading. So yeah, I think that's it really. Let's get started. Okay, so to start, I'm going to drain the oil. I've got the car on a slight incline, which hopefully will help, because the way the bolt's located there, it will help all the oil come out. I put a blanket on the floor because I haven't got tarpaulin really, and it's Easter Sunday and no one's open. So I'm just going to use that for now. Don't want to get oil on the drive. I'm using the, this is a 9 litre oil drainer. I'm going to take this out. This is to allow air to get in, so the oil drains into that as quickly as possible. So I've made sure that that's tight on there, so I'm going to whack that underneath. Probably, no, probably that way around. Do you know what? I don't know, not to care a great deal, so I think I'm going to do it that way. Yeah, that should do it, I think. It's going to piss out though. I've left the oil filler cap on the engine, which initially will help reduce the flow of oil. So when I'm taking the oil drainer plug out, and as soon as I've taken it out and most of it has come out, I'll take the top off the engine, the oil filler cap off the top of the engine, which will again introduce air into the engine and release more oil, hopefully. So that's the plan. Let's get started. sump plugs are magnetic and they catch crap metal shards from the engine, and there's absolutely no metal on there whatsoever. So
that was very
that
close.
was close. Absolutely chuffed with that. There's got a nice healthy engine there. But if you have a look at the sump plug and the seal on it, that is shot. So I'm glad I bought another one.
Keep it still. There you go.
You see that?
Yep.
That is franked. So got a new one for that. Hope it's the right size.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. Good. So I'm using a metal pole at the moment to hold the bonnet open.
Classy.
Oh, that's good. And I'm going to remove the engine filler cap to introduce air. So look at the top of there. There's no emulsification whatsoever. So we got no water and oil mix, which means well, it's a good sign. So it means I think we've been lucky with this one. Engine's a bit of a honey. Okay, so I'm going to I'll try and get a shot now of where the oil filter is. If I can just get that. There is the oil filter. So it seems like there's a lot of space around it. Sort of when you bring the camera out, you'll see that there's really not much space in there. So got my oil filter wrench, and I got 21mm socket, which will fit on the end there. The only reason I've got that is because it's such an awkward space. Normally, if you had room to it, you could just put your socket straight in and just do it that way. But I haven't got that luxury. So it gives you the option to put your socket straight on, or it's got a nut on the end for a 21mm to put straight on so you can extend. So that's what I'm doing now. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Thanks. Right, so eventually, by moving this plastic cover plate, which I don't know what it's for, and through a lot of cuts and losing my temper, then regaining, I've managed to get purchase, very little purchase, and I'm talking a couple of clicks on the ratchet, and I've managed to loosen the oil filter, which I'm doing now. I cannot film it because you'd never see it, and if I let go of this, the oil filter wrench is going to fall off, and then I'm going to lose my shit. So I've actually turned it now, so I can remove that. I can do it by hand now. So I did end up using the oil filter chain wrench. I didn't think it was going to fit in there. Might have to stay in there, I can't get it out. But it's done. Right, okay, so I'm going to need to get the oil collecting this over.
Okay.
So I'm going to put the old plug back in there.
Mm-hmm.
just to stop that dripping, and then pull this across while I empty this. Okay, so new oil filter. I normally fill these with oil and put new some oil on the top there so it seals well to the block. But in this occasion, I'm going to put a bit of oil inside, but I'm not going to fill it because the angle that it's on, it'll just all pour out. So there's absolutely no point at all. So I'm going to use new fresh oil to do that. So only a bit, just to seal the top, that's all. I'm just going to make sure there's some oil there when I open it. So just get your finger in there, just get some oil on there. Get it around the edge. Like that. So it's just around the rubber seal on the edge there. The other thing to also be careful of, and I'm going to check the other oil filter now because I haven't, is make sure that that rubber seal came off with the old oil filter. So you don't want to be putting, if that stayed on there, you don't want to be putting oil seal on top of oil seal, etc. So if it has stayed on the block, just peel that off. That should come off straight off there, just replace the new one. I'm going to put a bit of oil in this now, not much, just a bit, just to get it started. Amazing, taking the old one off, how much oil the oil filter actually holds. So that's, I mean, I've just poured that in there now, that didn't even, can't even see it. So we're going to install this now, and hopefully that should be 100 times easier than taking it off. The guy, whoever put on, I say the guy, it's quite sexy, isn't it? Whoever put on the oil filter on this, they're not supposed to be as tight as that. It was absolutely ridiculous, and it can cause damage from them on that tight. So they're supposed to be as tight as you can by hand, and then just give them a bit of a crank, and that's it. But Jesus, it was really on there. So let's go put this on. Okay, so if you remember, we put the old sump plug back in because I needed to move the this drain pan here. It'll be interesting to see how much more is collected. Quite a bit more. Surprising.
It's surprising considering how slow the drip was.
I know, look at that seal. That's off the
It's
old
horrendous.
sump plug. So I'm hoping. So what I've done with this one now, I put new oil around the seal. It's got a nice new seal on it, nice new plug. I'm going to get a cloth now and just clean around the, can you grab that?
Maybe.
Good call. Okay. So I think that's the majority of it. I can't believe it. It's probably been a good, what, hour and a half since we took that out,
Yeah.
and it's still coming out. So I'm gonna just wipe around that seal. I just want to make sure that it's going to seat right, because you don't want any obstructions there. And that looks lovely. So new oil plug again. This one's got a deeper part there than the other one.
Shorter screw.
No, the thread's exactly the same. It's this bit here, which is, it's like the magnetic bit, if you like. You put your finger in there, though. There's nothing it's going to hit or touch you and all the rest of it. But so I'm going to screw that in place like that. And again, it doesn't need to be. I'm not going to over tighten like I always do. Because all you'll do then is you'll just crush the rubber seal, and then it won't do its job. So that's enough on there. Just sort of hand tight, and then a bit of a wrench, if you like. So I'm going to clean that there, so again we know if there are any leaks later on. So that's a new sump plug back in. So what we'll do now is, now the sump plug's back in, the new oil filter is on. I'm just gonna clear up our mess and get some oil in there. Good thing is as well, the oil filler on these is massive. So
It's huge.
you don't really need a filter. Also, advice would be not to pour in that way, because you'll get a lot of glugging and it'll go everywhere. Always pour in from the side, because it'll let more air in the top and you'll get less glugging. But you're always going to get glugging at the start, so I'm going to try and do this as slowly as possible. Try and hit the spot. Okay, so out the oil that came out, some of you may have noticed or may put in the comments that I didn't flush the engine. That's because when we bought the car, it had been standing for about 12 months, and it probably explains the oil underneath the car. There's very little oil in it when we got it home, and when I say very little, I mean literally. There was evidence of a small amount on the bottom of the dipstick, so I filled it up then, knowing I was going to do an oil change, so we just sort of flush it all through. So it did have a flush through, and now we've got to dispose of this in our local council refuge depot, where we can pour this in, because I'm going to need this for one of our other videos, which is going to be the coolant change. So that's that done there. So I'm just going to put the car on level surface and just see where we are with our oil level. Okay, so we're going to check the oil level now. I think it would be absolutely fine. But I'll clean this off first. So hot.
Bacon.
That needs a little bit more. So it needs to get into the safe. So it says add, if you can look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
It says, can you focus in on that?
Yeah.
So it says add, and then it's got the crisscross bit where it says safe.
Mm-hmm.
And then above that it says check with vehicle level, do not overfill, see owner's manual for oil type. So we need to get it into that level. So I'm going to add a bit more to be sure. When I actually went to Euro Parts, they said 5 litres. However, when we checked it, it says 4.7. So I think 5 litres, looking at if it's in that safe zone, would be fine anyway.
Will it have anything to do with the fact it's going to be filling the oil filter as well? So maybe the extra 300ml is going into the oil filter.
300ml in the oil, might have
Just a
something
thought.
to do with it. Good thought.
Again, if anyone lets us know, just pop it in the comments.
So that is now in the safe zone. So I'm going to change the air filter now, because literally it's that easy to change. It's literally going to be 2 minutes. So again, using man filter again, which I got from Euro Parts. Very good offers on at the moment, more than half price. So standard filter. Just doing this as a precautionary measure because we've only just got it. I don't know how old the air filter is that's in it, but we'll do another video on later on when we're doing all these videos, because I'm hoping to put a K&N air filter on it. So I didn't tell you about that, did I?
No, that's news to me.
Yeah, we can put one of those on it later on, but not important right now. So let's get to it.
Chester wants to help you.
You can help me. Okay, so this is the air box. Really simple, easy to get to, thank God, unlike the oil filter. So just unclip, put these two off here, and it folds out like that. Just park that back there. And this is obviously identical. A bit of debris on it. Doesn't look too bad actually, but I think better safe than sorry in there. Bit of crud, nothing major. It's doing its job, because that's where the crud should be. I might give that a quick wipe out actually. So we'll do that now. Okay, I'll zoom in on this. So we've got this filter here. It smells a bit of oil, and then there's this pipe coming from the back of what seems to be the back of the left bank. I don't know if that links to the right bank. And then it goes up. Yeah, it does. It's connected to both sides of the banks. And it could be, I don't know what it could be actually. If you know, let me know. I think it's something to do with the oil breather, but it'd be interesting to know. It's that's a sponge one, so it can be cleaned. Easy as that. That's why I put it in on the video, because I'm doing a whole new video for an air filter change. So there we are, all done.